Welcome to the After Church Show with Greg and friends. It's your host, GB, sitting in here with my favorite folks, Kai, Nicole, and Massey. What's going on, Kai?
Hey, y'all.
Massey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, he pushing through right now.
We gonna make it. We gonna make it.
He holding on. Love my brother, man. He fighting.
Love
He
you too,
fight.
man.
He fighting that. He fighting that Z's right now. Indeed. But welcome to the After Church Show with Greg and friends, coming to you live from WXSL Street Legal Radio. Tune in to www.streetlegalradio.com or download the app in your Google Play Store. Look up Street Legal Radio. Download us and join us. Tell your mama, tell your friends. We are live on the air. You can also catch us on our website. If you go to www.theafterchurchshow.com, you'll see a nice giant red bar across the top of there, and you just click on that, and that will allow for you to join us live as well. So lots going on in the media, lots to talk about this week, so we're just going to hop right in. Got a couple of good things going on that we saw in the news, a couple of funny things as well, which we'll get to. Just say hashtag awesome camera, but we'll come back to that later. But Shirley Caesar actually received a gold star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame earlier this week. And I thought that was phenomenal. She is a pioneer as far as gospel music is concerned. She's the standard in many ways for female artists. She's literally been at it for 50 years. 50 years.
That's
Can you?
a
I
long
mean,
time.
yeah,
Long
man.
dedication.
Definitely.
I mean, none of us in the room are 50 years old. So to be able to just do something for 50 years, she's just been grinding, and it's amazing. She's been relevant. She's been relevant in every decade. You know, even now she has a song out with Anthony Hamilton. Shirley Caesar does. So it just speaks to what she's been able to do. She's worked with a lot of the greats, and she's actually considered a great herself. So big, huge shout out to Shirley Caesar. Congratulations to one of the mothers of gospel music. Did an awesome job. Awesome job. So I'm glad that she got recognized, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. My question is, she's been at this game for 50 years, though.
Yeah.
And BB, and I'm not hating on them, BB and CC Winans, they already had that star. Why did it take her by herself to get a star in 50 years?
Yeah.
And she's put more work than anybody out there.
She is the James Brown of gospel.
She is.
Yes.
She is.
And some. Yeah.
So,
indeed.
But shout out to her. Congratulations. I mean, that's an honor.
Yeah.
Because that's history. That's forever going to be there. So that's that's good. That's
Yeah.
hard work. That's dedication, I'm sure. Being black for one, and two, being a woman. You've heard people like Patti LaBelle express how hard it is.
Yeah.
So for her to be doing it for 50 years, and
That's
still,
amazing.
like you said, still relevant.
Yeah.
As everybody knows Shirley, even if you don't go to church, you still know Shirley Caesar's name. So that's awesome.
Yeah, you got to know who Shirley Caesar is, and if you don't, that means you live under a rock. Honestly, you have to be under a rock. I'm scared of her, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
She's so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, everything she does. And she's not just music. She's been in acting too. So
right.
Everything.
Yeah. What was the movie that she was in?
I can't remember.
Was it the Beyonce movie with Cuba Gooding? Was that the one?
No, I think that might have been Anne Nesby.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just confusing my
eldest. She's done a couple of. She's had a couple of appearances in plays and movies and stuff. So
okay.
She's just phenomenal. So you have to know who she is.
You better.
Right.
And if not, she'll come get you. Mm-hmm. I'm scared of her. I ain't even gonna lie about it. I tell my wife all the time, I'm scared of Shirley Caesar. She got a different kind of anointing on her. Something, you just be like, nah, I ain't messing with her. I ain't even gonna try that.
Go there.
Yeah. When she called Jesus, he come right away.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, so what else is going on? You guys see anything of interest this week that happened that kind of blew your mind away? I know I did. I saw the bombing. You had the bombing.
Yeah.
The airport.
The airport bombing,
yeah.
Which is something that we definitely wanted to talk about today. But just the simple fact that that's still occurring
Right.
Really, really, really blows me away.
Definitely. Just terrorism on any level.
Yeah.
It was just sad to hear. Like, it's just in any level. I mean, there's some stuff we don't even hear about that's still going on in Africa and stuff like that. But to hear it.
And side note, that stuff needs to be in the news and just as relevant too.
It seems like that's happening like every week.
Yeah.
Every single week.
Yeah. The stuff that was going on in Ghana, that's what I was talking about recently.
Yeah. It's kind of nervous, like, to go anywhere, because it's like you want to go. I'm a person that I want to travel more.
Yeah.
I want to have the opportunity to travel with my family. But some of these places that you want to go, you just never. I mean, it's scary enough in America,
right?
We have terrorism over here, but
they don't call it terrorism,
right?
Unless a certain group does it.
Right,
Otherwise,
it's
gun enthusiasts. It's a gun enthusiast if certain groups do it, or they're misunderstood, or they have mental issues.
Yeah.
It's never terrorism, which is what it actually is. But anyway,
I think we should stop pinning terrorism on a certain group, because
it's a buzzword.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, because I know people who are from overseas, from the Middle East, who are Muslim, and they're like, they used to walk in depression and fear because it's like people's tobacco ash.
Yeah.
That they get, because it's not all of them. It's a certain group of people, and if you think about it, that particular group that we're talking about, sometimes they pull off those masks, and it's very pale skinned.
Oh, we're going to get into them. Yeah, we'll be on that.
Like, I'll pay attention for real.
Right, like the kid that shot up the church.
That's definitely coming in the first hour.
The kid that shot up the church was a terrorist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Period. I mean, he was a terrorist. That was his message. He went in there to kill multiple groups of people.
That's the definition of terrorism, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, and I don't understand why the media, and we gotta stop allowing the media control what kind of words are being used to determine these actions.
It's mind manipulation.
Of course.
Yeah, it's mind manipulation. You get the message that they want you to receive, as opposed to the message that should be received. And I really saw that. And not to go too far off, but I really saw that during the fires that were had in Baltimore City when the issue with Freddie Gray case and all that was out.
Right.
The coverage of that was in such a way that it painted a specific picture and a theme that the media wanted to be presented. And anybody that was here, who was either out in the street or watching a variety of different media coverages, you could see where certain media venues were literally trying to make you understand and see one thing. And even after it had discontinued and everything had subsided and everybody had quote unquote gone home, they were still showing reels of stuff that happened earlier in the day, just to make sure that you thought that it was still insightful out there, when in fact they had contained it and gotten control of the situation. So it's amazing, and I mean we can talk all day about that.
Right.
But it is amazing how the media tries to. Yeah, well, it's already rowdy.
Right.
We got to stay rowdy because we keeping you up to date.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, we good. I ain't at 100%, but I'm at 50, getting up there. So we got to get to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Talk about these topics.
We're gonna get them some gummies.
Some
of those gummies.
I got my after church coffee, so I'm good.
Good plug.
I'm good.
After church coffee, brought to you by
church.
After Church.
That's right. After church show. We brew too.
He brews and she brews. We brew too. Oh man, so
we're gonna copyright that, so don't try to steal it.
Yeah, don't steal it. Don't try to take it off us. If you're just joining us, you joined us now live with the After Church Show with Greg and friends. I'm your host GB with Kai Nicole and Massey with me, always at my side. We are that team, that squad, and we do what we do down here. And I want to give a shout out to our engineer, who's always keeping it popping for us.
Yeah,
and she makes sure y'all hear that deep sound in my voice when I go deep, and the high sounds when I go high. But shout out to Sade. We appreciate you. Love you, Shorty. Always doing a good job for us. So let's get into some topics this week. First thing I want to talk about was I saw on major news outlet, I believe it was CNN if I'm not mistaken, but Pope Francis, who I mistakenly called Pope Benedict, but Pope Francis actually said that the Vatican should apologize to various different groups and one of which was gays and lesbians. He said that the church should apologize. He said the church should apologize to children who have been exploited by labor. He said that the church should apologize to the poor and to women as well for their, what he called treatment of them. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically what he's saying is the way that the church has, the Catholic Church specifically, has responded to these various groups, that we as a whole, as Christians, should begin to apologize. And I found out in my research that it wasn't actually, there's nothing original about what he's done. This was actually done in the past a couple of times. One documented time, Pope John Paul II, back in 2000, he's Saint John Paul II. We'll just do a whole nother show on that.
Right.
But he's saying, I'm just going off what it says here. Saint John Paul made similar apologies to Jews for their treatment. I guess he was talking about the Holocaust and things of that nature. Indigenous people, immigrants, and there was also an apology given to women at that time as well. And then as far back as 85, Pope John Paul apologized to the continent, or the countries, various countries in Africa, for the involvement of Christians in the slave trade. So the question is, and this apology, you know, it came on the heels of the incident down in Orlando, where they had the club shooting, where there was with obvious hate crime,
Right.
Terrorist type of label has been placed on it, but it was an obvious hate crime towards those who are a part of the LGBT community. So the question that comes from this is, how do you feel, guys, how do you feel about the church apologizing to these various groups for what has occurred to them as it relates to how the church has treated them or mistreated them in their times of plight? How do you feel about that?
Overall, I mean, if they want to apologize, I think that's good. But when it comes to certain groups of people, my thing is, why are we continuously apologizing for not agreeing with maybe what they believe in? You know, because at the end of the day, we're apologizing for who you want to lay down with at the end of the day.
Sure.
Like, that's how I see it. You know, black people, at this point, an apology wouldn't even seem sincere. Like,
Yeah, I don't need 40 acres or a mule at this time.
Like, you know, but I mean, I think at this point it just seems like they're babyfying and pacifying them continuously over and over and over again.
Yeah, sure.
And I love all people. You know, I have, you know, friends with different genders, orientation, backgrounds, everything.
Right.
But at this point, it's kind of like, why are we still apologizing? I could think of so many other things that we could apologize for. But this one particular thing, it's like, why are we still apologizing for it?
Yeah, it almost makes it seem as though you know how somebody does something over and over and over again, and yet you keep saying I'm sorry over and over and over again. It's like, yo, if you slap me the 9th time, are you really sorry that you slapped me?
Right.
Or is this just some sort of thing that you're doing to make sure that you apologize, to say that you did the right thing? In other words, I'm trying to say is the apology coming as a form of a self-righteous position? You know what I'm saying? Meaning, I'm apologizing because I know it's the right thing to do. I don't necessarily care about you at the end of the day, but I'm apologizing because I know that I have to apologize. But guess what? 2 weeks from now, I'm slap you again.
Right. I'll do the same thing I was doing before.
It's almost routine, right? So what do you feel about that,
My thoughts are, we got to start with, and I'm glad you pulled up about 85 about him apologizing about slavery. I mean,
well, it was now it was to the Africans. I didn't find an apology to the people who took the Great Passage and have lived here for 400 plus years. I didn't see that apology. Now, if it's out there,
that's why I said
then somebody let us know, post it on the page. But I didn't see that apology. I saw the apology to the Africans.
And that was my thing in disagreeing with what he was saying. Adding on to what y'all was saying, like, what are we continuing apologizing for? They need to apologize to blacks first. I mean, people may not agree with me, and that's fine. This is my opinion, but
Your name is
we
Nancy.
have. That's
Go
right.
for it.
Hey, you know. But I mean, we have been suffering through slavery. We have been suffering. We continue to suffer the media continues to paint a horrible picture of us, just like you would have the riots in Baltimore that happened,
Sure.
and you know all our people are thugs and this and that.
Yeah.
Yet you will
A lot of disparaging titles.
right. You will post a video of young white kids after their team loses. I mean, I've seen them flipping cars and burning cars and doing this.
Well documented information.
Right. Yeah, and you can look it up. But they're just angry kids.
Right.
It's like, no, how about the church start with, let's apologize for the mishandled treatment of blacks. And then, and not discrediting, you know, the other groups, the LGBT community,
Sure.
the poor. You know, we're all called, and that's another thing. Let's start loving these people. Let's start helping these people. I mean, that doesn't mean that we agree with, you know, the same things that they agree with. Right. We all have our different beliefs, even in our own religious sects or whatever you want to call that. But let's stop.
You don't have to agree to get along.
Right. Exactly. You don't.
And I'm always blown away by people's persistence as it relates to trying to make somebody agree with you. You don't. I don't have to share your view. I don't have to do what you do. But we can coexist and work together, you know, collectively to accomplish different things. So you're absolutely right on that, man.
And a friend of mine, we had gotten a discussion about how they tried to label that Orlando shooting as the worst, you know, single-handedly terrorism act in the history.
Yeah.
And
Timothy McVeigh, maybe?
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me? And he's like, well, all these people died. You shouldn't even be worried about that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to label. It's sad what happened.
Absolutely.
I prayed for the families of the people that lost. I don't care who got shot and who got killed. I don't care
Nobody
what their
deserves to be
lifestyle.
murdered in cold blood.
That's
for no reason.
I tell you what, for those people that think that was the biggest massacre, what I consider a massacre, look up Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
That's
look it up.
All right, Sister Soldier dropping knowledge.
She ain't even give y'all the whole story.
She just gave you a homework assignment. I hear that, Kyle.
And
look it up for yourself.
And cops are still killing black folks today. Yeah. That's still been going on since Rodney King, since slavery. And y'all still talk, this was the worst. No, it's not. The mistreatment of black people is still continue to be the worst treatment of any group of people. And that's where we need to start.
So then to just bring it all into perspective then, so is the apology then still warranted? You know what I mean? Because even though we fully understand that there has been an extensive amount of oppression, mistreatment, etc., to not only our race, but in all fairness, there has been a mistreatment of the LGBT community. You know, if we're going to sit here and talk fair, there has been mistreatment of women. There has been isolation and division as it relates to the poor. So the apologies, because I'm assuming that because you said that the apologies, it's a start,
right? But
there needs to be action after the apology. If you ask me, don't apologize in 2016 and then 2025 you come back and you apologize for the same thing. That means there's been no progression.